here, bring you a wonderful little video, and I thought I'd just give you a little video about. Sorry, I gotta stay hydrated. Been thirsty a lot here lately. But anyways, just thought I'd give you guys a little different video. Well, I wouldn't say it's gonna be any different than the other videos, but a video about how I did a three-parter series. I wouldn't even call it a series. It's just a three-part thing, a three-part discussion type video with the 3 different paths you can choose right after your life after high school, which every young lady and lad will be doing here come in a few more months if you're watching this video and stuff. And I just thought I'd give a little discussion as to how I took all 3 paths in my life right out of high school. Alright? Well, I wouldn't say I took it right after high school, how I eventually ended up on all 3 of those paths. Well, as I stated before in the previous video, the 3 paths are immediately going into the workforce, college, or military. Alright, so those are typically going to be the 3 paths you're going to be doing. Now, each one has their benefits, each one has their minuses, etc., etc., etc. Just watch the videos in greater detail, and they'll be on my channel and stuff. Just watch those videos. It's a loose type of videos those were, but I wouldn't say that I could go into way more detail about it and everything. But I just thought about giving a little bit of insight as to how I did it and how life treated me right after high school. So, like most of you, like some people, you graduate high school and you generally have an idea inkling as to what you think you may or may not do. Well, mine was in the form of the military. I was getting closer to graduation of high school, 17, and was like, I was just sitting there smoking behind the Auto Tech building because that's where all the cool kids go, and discussing with an upperclassman that was there with me, and he was like, hey man, what are you going to be doing after high school and stuff? And I was like, I don't know man, I'll probably join the military. He's like, yeah, what branch are you going to join? And I was like, Army, because that's how everybody in my family, that's the path that everybody in my family chose. Well, he's like, just join the Marines, man, be my sign-up bonus and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, Marines, Army, they're all the same thing. But anyways, so I ended up talking to the Marine recruiter and everything, and in my mindset, this is how I always think about it. It's like right after high school, or right after getting done with something, I want to go ahead and immediately move on to the next thing. I don't want to have leeway time or anything like that. So I was like, alright, well, I want to go ahead and, immediately right after I graduate, just go ahead and straight go join. Well, unfortunately, my birthday was just a few days before graduation, and of course you have to sign all this paperwork and stuff months in advance for joining the military and stuff. And since I was 17 at the time, it means my mother had to sign the paperwork and stuff, and she looked at me and said, you're going to join the reserves and you're going to go through college first before you make the decision to go active duty and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, I don't really care. I mean, I'll do it. I just want to go ahead and get that first slot in going in. I just want to go immediately right after high school. So I did. I ended up joining the reserves. So graduate last week of May, birthday, graduation party, going away party. It was all basically in the same damn day because I was basically shipped off within a few weeks of each. Within like 2 weeks right after graduating high school, basically shipped off, went to Paris Island, did a MCT, headed to MOS school, finished up MOS school. So this is coming around, let's see, say late. I would say that coming up out the end of the year of 2011, I think. But yeah, finished it all up. Went home after MOS school, finally got put on reserve status. So yeah, that's where I was starting to do the two weekends a month, 2 weeks out of the year type deal. So what the heck? This car just literally on the other side. Everything okay? Okay. That's super weird, and nothing crazy, nothing weird about that. But anyways, then I'm a Southern person, asking, even though right now it's considered a very weird thing to do, asking people for help or asking if they need help. I just do it just to see if they need help, especially since that car was completely on the other side of the vehicle, the other side of the road and stuff. It's like, ooh, that's not good. So, anyways, back on track. So I graduate high school, or I get put on reserve status, and I didn't immediately go into college right after I got put on reserve status. I waited around a year. Well, in that meantime, a year, guess what you need to survive? That's something called income. Reserve pay was not going to pay all the bills, any of the bills, hardly anything, with that just being my one source of income. So I immediately decided to go into a laborer type job or something like that. And embarrassingly enough, I did various jobs during this time. One of which was I worked as a grocery bagger, and then I worked as a what else did I do? I worked as a clerk. Well, no, I worked mainly as a grocery bagger in between that time, in between that year leeway. That's what I did mainly, was a grocery bagger. All right, so I started doing that, and then I was like, all right, well. A year later, I was like, all right, well, a year and a half later, I decided to go ahead and start signing up and start doing college courses and stuff like that. So I started them college courses, started getting other things, yada, 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 etc., etc. So I started getting the college courses, quit the job as a bag person, started working as a gas clerk, mainly at midnight, a gas station clerk, like a night's time gas station clerk, while I was going through school and stuff. So I was doing school, military, and working, all three paths, all basically at the same time. It sounds like it's a lot. It was so. I mean, it is what it is. You have to do what you got to do. I mean, yes, I got paid from the VA to go to school, and I got paid for the drill pay. So I technically didn't need the job, but I wanted to have a job because I wanted to have things, obviously. So that's what I did, and I wouldn't say I was very smart with my money. I was not smart with my money at all. I could have done a lot better things, but of course that's the situations. 10 years, if I knew what I know now 10 years ago, things would be different. That's how the situation would be. Lessons learned, life lessons learned. You all have to go through it. So I could do that. I could go through a whole different video about money and how it should be managed and stuff in a completely different way, even more so than some of the videos I've done in the past. But this is, sorry about that, guys. The dang old boss man decided to give me a call on the way home, and it's a call I had to take, so I put in my headset and had to answer some questions about some storms coming through, so we had to prep some things. And anyways, getting back on track. So high schoolers graduating, you're gonna be faced with those three kinds of paths, and it may seem overwhelming at first, all right? But let me tell you, it is not. It's something every person is going to go through here in America. I don't know about how other countries do things or anything, but it's basically the coming of age type story where you're going to be going through. You're going to be thrown into the deep end as to, unlike how it is typically through high school or through elementary school, middle school, and high school. You're going to be thrown into a world of figure it out yourself. You ain't going to have your classes scheduled, or that's basically how it is. So you have those three options in front of you. Immediately join the workforce. That can include joining going to a business or something, or trying to start your own business, or doing some live streams, doing the YouTube thing, doing the video making thing. Hey, it doesn't matter. That's an option. Okay. 2, college. That's a very traditional type option. Now I know some of you guys may think it's like, well, none of my family's ever been through college. They seem to be doing just well without it and stuff. And hey, that's very true. You don't need college to do it. Heck, none of my family ever went through college before until very, very, and I mean very recently, starting with my mother graduating 6 months before me, and then I graduating 6 months after her. Us being the first 2 in our whole entire family to ever go through college. Okay? And none of our families ever had a history of going through college. Hey, be proud of that. Alright? If you're somebody, first generation person that's like, well, I want to see how college is, go for it. But do it smartly. Alright? Do it smartly. If you want to know how to do it smartly, just comment below if you're curious about what it means to do college smartly. Alright? And then number 3, military. Nothing wrong with the military. Military brat myself. Joined the military myself. I love the military. I love the military. So you have those 3 options. None of them are right. None of them are wrong. Okay, you're gonna have advices from people. You're gonna have suggestions from people. You're gonna have people saying, you gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. Nothing is something you have to do. You do not have to do anything that anybody tells you to do. Do what you think you want to do, and then grow from there, because your wants are going to change. Your needs are also going to change as you get older and stuff. Alright? So look into it. Look into yourselves. You're graduating. Heck, you made a great accomplishment in life. You're about to finish up high school. You're about to go through it, and take it from somebody who's not too much older than you guys, that it's okay to fuck up. You're going to have your hiccups. You're going to have the moments when you want to kick yourself in the ass, and it's okay not to listen to what mom and dad say about what you have to do, because you do not have to do it. They can give you sound advice. Don't get me wrong, if the advice is sound, then take it. Advice is always free, but it doesn't mean you have to follow it to a letter, to a T. You have to discover certain things for yourself, and that means doing it on your own and doing it with yourself. Doing it by yourself. You're going to fall more than you're going to climb. Let me tell you, you are going to fall down more often than how high you climb up. That's part of life, all right? And don't be afraid to take those failures. Take them with a grain of salt, be happy, and then move on from them. Alright? So that's all for this video. I just wanted to add a little bit of insight to the 3 parts that one could follow, that you young high schoolers are going to follow right after graduating, and bring it all together and give my experience with all 3 paths that I also took, and give a little bit as to how it's benefited me. Alright? So, if you guys would, give me a like, comment, and subscribe, and look forward to this next video. It's going to be closing out the year in good fashion. So,